Samantha here, and welcome to another installment of my SimCity BuildIt tips and tricks series. Today we are still talking about money, and you may be wondering, well, you showed us how to make money popping bubbles in neighboring towns, and then you showed us what to make the most money at a single time. So what else is there? Well, congratulations, you are now a contestant on Deal or No Deal. So I am sure you guys have been seeing vendors popping up in your game. The Llama Scouts need popcorn, the zookeepers need vegetables. Someone is always looking to make a deal with your town. Some days there are large amounts of profits to be made, taking them up on their offers. Other times not. Knowing which deals to take and which ones to pass on is the key. First thing to keep in mind when dealing with these vendors, act quickly. You should attend to their offers when you see them and decide to dismiss or accept based on their offer. It allows other vendors to come in and make new offers. If they sit there for days, you may miss the opportunity for another vendor to make a deal. Constantly refresh. Dismiss those with low offers quickly to allow better ones to come into town. But how do you know whether a deal is a good one or not? There are two types of values I consider when deciding on a deal. The first is the obvious, the monetary value. You can find this by determining the maximum value of the good they want to buy. I do this by going into global trade, maxing out one of the items they want, and multiplying that number by how many they need. If it's a quantity under 5, I normally just put that many into my global trade and max it out to see the amount. But don't sell them, just back away from global trade. It's just a tool to let you know how much you can sell for if you sell the items yourself. That is, if you haven't already memorized the amounts, which would be pretty tough to do. Once you determine that number, look at the offer again. Is it over or under the amount you could potentially get if you sell it yourself? If so, how much? If you have to part with an item, make sure it's worth the profit. That is where the second type of value comes in. I call this the need value. Items that are already hard to come by may need to be passed on. Examples of this is VOO items, expansion items, etc. If I have the space and will eventually need these items, I'll immediately pass. Also, if an offer is a couple dollars over, I'll probably pass on it as well. But keep in mind, it's not only a good way to get rid of extra stuff you may not need or can part with, but also the only way you can make extra amount on any item in the game. So back to my first point. If the amount they're offering is significantly lower, decline their offer and move on. Make sure you decline and clear them out of your town. Soon another vendor will come in to make another deal. So let me better explain how this works. I get an offer to sell 6 frozen yogurts for 9,884 simoleons. A quick trip to global trade will remind me that one frozen yogurt maxed is $17.50. Going back to the offer, I can now dissect the offer a little bit better. Deal or no deal? A quick calculation of the amount per yogurt, $17.50, multiplied by the amount requested, 6, totals 10,500 simoleons. I can make maxed out in global trade. So, that's right, no deal. I decline and move on. Make sure you decline. It allows someone else with a potentially better offer to come in. Really, Llama Scout Troop? You so well funded, but you lowballing me like that? Anyway, moving on. Next, I come across the Zookeepers Union wanting to buy 28 watermelons for 23,720 simoleons. Seems like a fair amount. Even though I don't have the supply, it may be worth my while. A quick check to global trade shows that one watermelon is worth 730 simoleons. Okay, let's go back to the deal. 730 times 28 equals 20,440 simoleons. That's 3,280 over the max value I can make in global trade. Not too bad. So, only problem with this is, of course, I don't have that many watermelons. I have to decide if it's worth making them for an extra 3,280 simoleons. Figuring out the amount of stuff required, you got shovels, seeds, seedlings, etc., and the amount of time, and knowing watermelons are very scarce in global trade for me to go search for them, I just decide to pass. You will also get Omega item deals. I have never seen an Omega item deal priced fairly, but then again, no one really gets the pricing of Omega items anyway, at least I don't. I've literally seen the same 2 items in my Neo Mall at the same time, costing 2 different values. So I recommend using need value when making a decision. How's your Omega storage? Do you need Neo simoleons? Do you need the item? Most times I'll make my decision based on those considerations. I'm not sure if Omega vendors can affect regular vendors, so I still recommend moving on quickly and dismissing them just in case. So here's another deal. Llama Scout Troop again wanting 18 soda pops for 28,402 simoleons. We know one soda pop costs 1,690 simoleons maxed out in global trade, so total 30,420 simoleons. Really, Llama Scout Troop with another lame offer? No deal. Now here comes an example of using need value as deciding factor for an offer. Zookeepers needing cameras for a party. Wait, y'all need cameras for a party? Okay, well, they need 50 cameras total. A quick check to global trade shows that cameras maxed out are 650, so back to the deal during a calculation, 650 multiplied by 15 equals 9,750. Well, I'm declining this because it's a bad offer, but had it been a better offer, I may have accepted it, being I don't need any storage expansion items. But for someone still expanding, you may feel it important to keep these items. You really can't put a monetary value on items that are difficult to come by. Now here is another way to figure out a deal if it's under 5 items. The maximum amount you could sell in a listing on global trade is 5, so deals like this Sunset Valley needing 3 microwaves is easy because I could go into global trade, add 3 microwaves at max value and figure out the amount without a calculator. In this case, 3 microwaves are worth 1,440 simoleons. Sunset Valley is offering 1,756. 316 simoleons over what I could sell it for in global trade. At this point, I haven't had a good deal all day. I'm almost inclined to accept, but 316 extra isn't a whole heck of a lot for a good offer. So at this point, I can figure out if I really don't need them, extra cash is extra cash, so I can sell or pass. Depending on my storage, you may accept it, but at this point, I'm pretty full, so I go on and accept it. So let's take a look at some great deals I've had this week. accepted 71,848 simoleons worth of deals. That was 11,255 simoleons over max global trade amount, and potential good deals worth 187,079 simoleons, which were 39,200 simoleons over max global trade value. I could have made a lot more had I buckled down and made the items or even found them at normal price in global trade. Keep in mind, offers don't disappear unless you accept or decline them, so theoretically you could take days to fill an order. So if you have an exceptionally great offer, you could take your time and get them done. Only for the fantastic items, don't waste too much time on the ones that are only worth a couple simoleons over the total amount. I wouldn't consider it worth your time. So one would wonder, is there any strategy to this system? In my opinion, I feel like a lot of it is by chance, but it may also be by coincidence. For example, sometimes you may have a large amount of something in storage and somebody may come by to offer you something on this larger amount. This happened when I just completed an assignment for electrical chips. One chip was 160 max in global trade and they were looking for 23. Only 78 simoleons over what I could make, but honestly, I didn't need them nor want them because my own storage issues, so I went and accepted the deal. So should you keep larger amounts of items in your storage to bait vendors? Well, that depends on your storage status. Some don't have enough to hold 30 items of ice cream sandwiches, but I do find it a huge coincidence that they pop up with offers for items you have a large quantity of. So I decided to employ an experiment I'd like to call burger bait. Yes, that's right, burger bait. I decided to purchase a bunch of burgers, I'm talking over 100, and just waited to see if anyone would come up with an offer. And wouldn't you know it, I got 6 offers for burgers, 3 of them on the same day I made the large purchases. One deal was 20 burgers for 92,361 simoleons, which was 19,961 simoleons over the max amount I could get from global trade. I quickly sold. I ended up buying some more burgers, and then another 20 burger one came up for 67,181, but I quickly declined. Then a huge one came up, 92 burgers for 318,361 simoleons. I thought I hit the jackpot, but a quick check on the max total price, 333,040 simoleons, made me realize it was a bad deal. Bought some more burgers, and then another deal came up, 105 burgers for 354,615 simoleons. I would get 380,100 if I sell them myself, so no deal. Just when I had given up, more good burger deals came in. 8 burgers for 32,164 and 90 for 343,397. This was a total of 20,801 simoleons over the max price. So after selling 118 burgers, I made 467,922 simoleons, which 40,762 was pure profit. I only made a handful of those burgers, so to be fair, I really made what the profit was, but I still consider that a win. So burger bait was a success. Of course, this whole experiment depends on your current financial standing in the game as well as storage capacity to hold burgers. I definitely bought about 150 burgers. Just wanted to prove that there probably is some way the game can offer you deals based on what you have in larger quantities in your storage. So to sum it up, here are the things you need to remember. 1. The more you deal with vendors, the more often they deal with you. So keep them active. Decline them when necessary so they can leave. And if you deal with one, you can take your time completing the order. But if you take too long, you may miss out on another deal. 2. Determine your monetary value and your need value. These are totally different. They may offer you a really good deal, but if you need the item, just decline. However, if you need the money, you may decide to accept the offer and deal with the consequences later. 3. There is strong evidence that larger amounts of an item in your storage may cause offers for said item to spawn. It may be worth it to bait vendors for larger paydays. If you find the deals aren't loading, I find it helpful to exit the game and come back. There's always a batch of new vendors looking. This takes patience, of course, but what part of this game doesn't take patience? Anyway, that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think about it in the comment box down below, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!